Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for Tower of God chapter 570, season 3, episode 153. And so last time we ended on a heck of a cliffhanger. We got to see the end of the Lopobia Jam Jam and Popodal Mate Ha fight, and I feel so bad for Jam Jam because I loved him so much. He was such a fun character, but Mate looked incredibly cool. Since he won that fight, not sure where that side of things goes from there. I mean, there was the fact that backup didn't show up, which means, like, Kirin wasn't contacted, or like was contacted, and maybe Kirin's the traitor, but I think it's the fact that I'm pretty sure Kirin told Gerudo to help, and he just didn't, because I think Gerudo is the traitor. I mean, that was heavily implied, if not just outright said to us, pretty much. At least that's what I got out of it a couple chapters ago. That's what I would be assuming from the context we were given. I know there are some people saying, oh, the explosion behind him wasn't caused by him or whatever, but it just seemed like from the way that it was written that it was. But maybe not. Maybe I'll be proved incorrectly in the future coming up. Some of you probably know much more than I do. But clicking onto this, we're not continuing off right where the cliffhanger left us, because the first thing that I see is somebody saying what Holin is missing. So we're getting Holin. Holin's on his I'm an Avenger arc. He's on his my name is Lopobia Holin. I hate a lot of things and I don't particularly like anything. What I have is not a dream because I will make it a reality arc. Just edgy boy Holin, I'm kind of here for, because I didn't dislike Holin's character at all, but I'm always up for characters that I dislike in series. Even characters I dislike, I should say, because I didn't dislike Holden, but even characters I dislike, I'm always here for the author using a character that's already pre-established and bringing them back in to develop them further and have them do more stuff. I'm always up for that. Even characters I dislike, like, I don't know, Mineta from Hero Academia or Yamato from One Piece, I would even be up for that. Because to me, the best characters are characters like, I guess Endeavor from Hero Academia, to use Hero Academia as another example, or Gabriel from The Walking Dead, or Jeremiah Gutwald from Code Geass. Characters that start off like, wow, this guy sucks, and then develop into cooler, funner characters. So I'm down for more Holland stuff. I'm really interested to see where CU decides to go with including his character even further and everything. But yeah, let's get into reading from there. Somebody's saying what Holland's missing, and we have Battleship Hospital number 3. But he was in his bed before bedtime. That is just, I know it's probably a very literal translation, but that's, like, in English, a really funny sentence. Where did he go? Go find him. And we have Holin with the skin tight shirt and the slacks just walking down here. It burns. Ever since that man cursed my tongue, it feels like it's on fire. Okay, so it's like a literal curse. And we have an explode. Okay, I scrolled the rest of the panel down. I was gonna say, was that explosion him exploding? But no, it's actually him witnessing the explosion. I wonder though, I just mentioned what happens with Mate now that he's defeated Jam Jam. Do we get Holin then being like, okay, I'm the backup? Do we get Holin versus Mate potentially? And he has these veins popping out of the sides of his faces as well. Sorry, hiccup. I'm running late. It's like after 11 o'clock. I just ate dinner. So sorry if I get the hiccups while speaking so much. We have all the observer Shinheo creatures, like, flocking around Jam Jam. Alright. And then the fireflies? Fireflies? You mean dragonflies? The fireflies are gathering around him. They're repairing the damage to his body. He's recovering so quickly. So he's, like, again, partially mechanical. We've seen that with a lot of characters, it feels like, in Tower of God. He's, like, partially mechanical. I'd better hurry up and attack him. And it makes sense, too, because his Shinheo are also, like, at least partially mechanical. I'd better hurry and attack him again. And now, is this going to be like the upgraded version of Holen's creatures coming to attack. What the? And they're flying towards him. Hey, and it looks so cool now. I mentioned it before when we had like the edgy boy panels of Holen, but it's so cool looking now. What are you doing on my family's battleship? Are you from the Pobedao family? Answer me. He was one of the castaways on our battleship. His Shinsu flow makes me uneasy. He's dangerous. Remember, they preached it to us all through the nest. They preached it. Potential. The big thing about him was his potential. So yeah, if we get to see Holen live up to that some. So hot. It's burning hot. Both to others and him. Wait, he's dangerous both to others and himself. Hey, do something. My tongue feels like it's on fire. My tongue. And then we're seeing, again, it's like, so odd, is burning. And I don't, is this like maybe a layer mistake or something? Because we have like his body, but then like a second part of him behind the creature. Is that a mistake, or is that supposed to be like that? I guess it's supposed to be like that because I'm pretty sure they usually fix any mistakes by the time the official release comes out, even if there's a mistake in the Fast Pass. So before, his creatures were like extinct Shinhale, but like they weren't the actual extinct things. They were like spirits, which was his special thing. But now it's like just these crazy amalgamations of like hellish dead matter type stuff. Holy crap. What is that thing? And it's coming in for an attack, and it looks massive from that panel. Damn it, it's so strong. Like, it looks like just the tiny bits that were at the top of it are what's hitting against him. I can't block it. Yeah, it is just the tiny bits. And it's knocking him up against the side of the building. Hajin Sung and Cha, near the hotel. Passage to the underground dock. Alright, and we see the two of them in their disguises. Ah, there you are. Hajin Sung, right? Okay, so yeah, it's Gudodo. See, that's the way I was reading it, was he was the traitor, he caused the explosion, but then there were comments, like, not just on my video, but on everybody else's videos too, that were like, oh, we don't know if that was him causing the explosions. That could have been from, I forget whose attack it was that was going on at the time. They're like, it could have been from that attack, or saying that it was unclear. So I was like, okay, you know, maybe I'm wrong. I just assumed. But no, I think my assumption was right. What an honor to meet such a famous member of FUG. It's crazy how young Jinsung looks. How young he looks. With the sort of current updated art style. It's nice to meet the mysterious insider from the Lopobia family. Will you at least tell me your name now? Gurudo. I'm a branch leader. Although, I might not be the person you think I am. Okay. Might not be the one you think I am, so he might be working. So there is still a possibility, a potential, that Kirin is the traitor and Gurudo is working for him. Because since he says, I might not be the person you think I am, it makes me think he could be working for the traitor. So maybe that's another layer to it that makes it not as clear. A branch leader, huh? Then you must be pretty powerful. But why did you suddenly decide to reveal your identity? Does this mean the time has come? I guess you could interpret it that way, since the start of this war was an opportunity for us, although I did think that the Pobedao family leader got involved too soon. Are you connected to Pobedao as well? If FUG's connected to them, then so are we. We're the same, as you know. Darkness can seep into anything. Anyway, if you want to escape, we'll help you. That's an interesting line. That, like, you know, they're connected, the two families, or at least people working within the two families and people working within FUG are all connected. That's an interesting line. Anyway, if you want to escape, we'll help you. What do you want from us? What do you value more than anything? The irregular. What? So whoever he's working for wants the irregular, not for trauma ray, but for something else. Oh, don't get me wrong. We don't mean to take advantage of him like our father. We want a win-win situation for everyone. We would just like him to help us achieve our goal. What exactly is your goal? the same as FUGs. Perhaps we really are from FUG, like you said. What we want is to bring down the whole system of the 10 families and begin a new chapter. And this is such a cool panel. From FUG supporters to those working in the shadows within each family. And hold on, I'll bring this up. So this is the captain stuff. Like, this totally to me confirms it's the captain stuff. That's like not Zahard, that's the captain that spoke with Chan Dewan in the flashback, I would assume. Because we have Yule there to the left. That's why I'm assuming that. We know that Yule works for the captains. And we know that one of the captains told Yule that Bomb was an irregular, but Yule mentions that the captain who told him that Bomb was an irregular wasn't the captain that he usually speaks to, which was like one of our first hints that there was more than one. So we have, I'm keeping this panel up here while I'm talking about it and going through it. We have the captain, presumably, or the boss, however you want to translate it, the Daejang, I believe was their name. It was like Daejang. I'm not 100% on the pronunciation for it. So we have Gururo there as well, and of course we know Belarir is pulling things behind the strings with Rachel there, and with Akryung, who is from Head-On, presumably working with Head-On and working with Rachel. And there was like the mention before, the true god of the tower. I think, who was it that we saw the panel of Head-On when they said the true god of the tower? I think it was during the Horyang flashback, right? I think it was during the Horyang flashback when we saw that. So again, Head-On is one of those forces that have been there since before Zahard set up the Empire. So it would make sense that there is a group of people who want to tear down the system in place, like not for the same reasons necessarily that FUG does. But then again, there's been people, I've seen the theories from people saying, I think Naya has talked about it a bunch, that FUG is really just kind of a front for Luzlek, and Luzlek is just using FUG because he has deeper motives. That could totally be a part of this too. Luzlek could be working with this group of people. And it's so interesting that Masheni seemed to not be working with him. It's really interesting because Masheni's goals seem, if anything, the most aligned to theirs. Because Masheni plotted the whole stuff, like basically since the last station out, really. Masheni plotted to pretend like she was, on Jinsung's side of things in order to get Jinsung to go fight Calavan to prevent Calavan from getting to Bomb. And she did that because she was like, I can't beat Jinsung in a fight, but if I get Jinsung to wear himself out fighting Calavan, then I can capture him. And she did that in order to use Jinsung as bait so that Bomb and FUG wouldn't be able to sit around and hide anymore. FUG would have to make a move. FUG would have to do something, and then she plays behind the scenes at the nest to help FUG succeed, because like what Karaka said in his speech to, I think it might have been Chonhee, it might have been Calavan, whoever Karaka was talking to, like Karaka said, if Zahard's Empire wins, then the tower's just going to go, of course Zahard's Empire won. It's Zahard's Empire, of course they're going to win. But if FUG succeeds, then the tower is going to be like, wow, Zahard's Empire isn't as flawless as we thought, and people all over the tower are going to have reason to think, you know what, maybe we can fight back against this. So, again, it just feels like, again, Masheni set all that up, and it wasn't until she made contact with the boss, with the Daijang at the end of the nest, that she was kind of clued in by him, hey, we've got a plan, send this group of regulars to this place. So yeah, this is all super interesting. It's like an even deeper layer of people working together. Like, I wouldn't even say like a real secretive organization or anything. It's just people within different factions that have a similar mindset and similar goal, rather than like a secret additional faction. So that's super interesting. And seeing all these characters involved from this panel. Also, it kind of gives away what characters are and aren't involved in all of this stuff. And it's so super interesting that Rachel is, given the whole like Icarus and Prince of Zahard stuff. when it seems like the people with the rings, like Wangnan and Karaka, and the Daijang seem to be like princes or clones or whatever of Zahard. So that's super interesting that maybe they carry on a bit of the spirit of the original Zahard, the adventurer Zahard, not the conqueror Zahard. That they feel like they carry on that spirit of wanting to tear down sort of what Conqueror Zahard, King Zahard has built in order to keep the climb going, to begin a new chapter. But either way, I'll go ahead, continue reading. We're barely into the chapter, but that was like, that I feel like is really, really huge stuff. People with that common goal are coming together more and more quickly. Exactly. So, like I mentioned, it's like not a secretive organization necessarily. It's just people with a common goal finding each other. Sort of like Masheni was sort of found by the Daijang here to work together, basically. And we've decided to call ourselves Revolution. Okay, so they are giving themselves a name. So this is different than FUG. There's a whole revolution. And it will be interesting to see if Luzlek is actually involved in that in any way. I mean, you got to think, if you're FUG, why not? Why not work with them? Because your goals really do align. My father intends to use the Slayer candidate in the war against the Pobedao family. It's a kind of proxy war, but that's not what we want. We want an all-out war between the two families. It doesn't matter who wins or loses, as long as one side's destroyed. That's why we're against the Slayer candidate fighting a proxy war on behalf of the family head. You oppose it too, don't you, Hajin Sung? Both the Pobedao family head and our family head want the Slayer candidate. In other words, the Slayer candidate is the spark that will ignite the war. We don't want anyone to get their hands on that spark. Our goal is to stir up endless conflict and division with his help. And this is interesting too, because it seemed like Rachel and Bellerir were working with Gastong. So it's interesting if they're working against Gastong, and we still don't know. Like, the proxy war thing is totally Traumare's side of things, but we still don't know exactly the reasons why Gastong wants him. We feel the same way as you, so go ahead and leave. Don't worry about things here. Okay, so he's just helping them escape. Like, he's just going to help them escape. He's not going to go with them or anything, it seems like. He's still going to be a mole on the inside, basically. We both want the same thing. We'll stop the Slayer candidate from becoming a part of the Lopobia family at all costs. So, they'll probably end up escaping via the Dravi method that we learned about last chapter. Don't worry, it's safe to leave. And then, look, is that a submarine? That's right. That's how we're going to get off this battleship. Sorry, I just scrolled down and saw the dugong part of it at the bottom. I know of an abandoned gate on the battleship that they won't be able to track. And again, it just feels like Traumare should be able to sense all this, but maybe not. Maybe I'm overestimating irregulars even. Hey, Cha? Yes? I have a favor to ask you. But, can you let Bomb know that I left? So he's gonna leave Cha with him. That makes sense. I was wondering if Jinsung was gonna say he wanted to stay behind, but this makes even more sense. And now we're getting to Showdown 2. There has been so much huge stuff for the overall plot and story of Tower of God that I'm like nearly 20 minutes into this recording, and we're just now getting to the title page. Telling each other what's happened in the meantime. Okay, we have Bomb talking to Kun, filling in information. I guess they really are friends after all, says Hema Slime. Yeah, he looks completely different from when he's with us. Well, that's a surprise, thinks Shiliel. Pobedao Tiara and Yuri Zahard are here. I've heard that the Lopobia family head is eccentric, but I never imagined that he'd try to take advantage of a Slayer from FUG. So, what do you want to do, Bomb? Does that even matter? Says Liliel. We have no choice but to go along with what the family head wants anyway. And again, Liliel's still in this mindset of always having to go along with it, even if she doesn't want to, even though all the rest of them are like, yeah, no, we're not just doing this. What's the point of asking what he wants now? Not me. I'm not letting anyone control me, says Bomb. I understand why the family head wants this marriage. Marriage creates a bond between people that's difficult to break. But still, I don't want him to use me to fight his war. I'm gonna win the showdown against the family head and regain my freedom. What? Showdown with the family head? Did you bump your head earlier or something? But the family head has already allowed me to take part in this tournament. He never intended to hold a proper tournament in the first place. From the moment he brought those snakes here, this tournament has been... I know, it's a trap. Exactly, that's why we have to do what he wants. No. I'm going to continue my showdown with the family head. Are you listening? He never really meant to... It's not just for my own sake. And are you listening, Lilial? Like, Lilial's still on this. I'm going to fight for everyone's freedom, including you and even those snakes. What? I agree. Normally, I'd say it's impossible to make a deal with the family head, but the family head already accepted to have a showdown for Bomb's freedom. That shows how much he needs Bomb, says Kuhn. If all the participants were to oppose the marriage, it would be impossible to decide on a winner, so the family head would be forced to accept a showdown with us in order to gain Bomb. In that case, we'll all fight as one team in exchange for our freedom. That's right. If you're prepared to leave your family and earn your freedom, then join me in the showdown against the family head. Wouldn't you rather leave this family that's forcing you to get married and be free? And I feel like Shiliel very much wouldn't be into that after the last chapter. He sure has a nice way of telling us to betray our family, they both think. What kind of showdown do you have in mind? Do we really stand a chance? It doesn't matter what kind of showdown it is. As long as we can gain our freedom. Yeah, I really feel like no matter what it is, I don't see how they have a chance against Traumerei, or why Traumerei, unless they snuck out, why Traumerei would allow them to leave, like in any case. But it should be something that we have a chance of winning. And what if we lose? Do you have a plan for the worst case scenario? Don't worry about that. Even if we lose the showdown, we'll have a way to escape. Kuhn, I'm sure we can find a way off this battleship. If necessary, we can always side with Pobedao as well. So yeah, if worse comes to worse, at least for the moment, like, team with Pobedao. I'll make sure that both our escape plan and the showdown are realistic, so that we can get out of here if things don't go our way. Would you still like to go through with this ridiculous marriage tournament? If you ask me, it makes a lot more sense to side with us. And we have Shiliel thinking, my original plan was to seduce that man and make him do what I want, but Liliel appears to be against me marrying him, or so against me marrying him that she's willing to disobey the family head, and not only is that man completely uninterested in marrying me, but now he's even proposing a showdown with the family head. I don't think I'll be able to seduce him, and if I fail to marry him, I'll be doomed anyway. It's interesting because we really don't know what Shiliel's actual goals and motivation are. The marriage candidate selected by the family head himself is offering me a way out of here. In that case, there's only one thing to do. Don't be ridiculous. Why would we team up with you of all people? Liliel? Let's give it a try. What? What's gotten into you now, Shiliel? If this plan fails, we'll all... So what? Are you saying you'd like to marry the Slayer candidate? Of course not. Then how about I marry him? It's fine with me. No way, absolutely not. Then, what do you want to do? It's a choice between marrying him or having a showdown with the family head. And again, Liliel is 13 IQ out here. Fine, I'll do it. I'll join the showdown. Alright, we'll join you, but on one condition. What is it? You have to guarantee the safety of our whole family, including our mother and the two of us. Sure, don't worry. We have the greatest swindler in the tower on our side. I know we're gonna win. Are you talking about me, Scoon? We'll go look for the family head. You two, go to the room I showed you and let your mother out. Okay, so we're finally bringing Laura into this. We'll call you with Andrasi's pocket. What? You mean I'm going with them? That's right, you go with the princesses, Andrasi. What about us? You said FUG knows how to get out of here, right? Probably. I'm waiting to hear from them, says Dravi. Then go with them for now, and help us escape if we're in danger. Got it. Let go of me, and we have the Serpent Master has Ren captured. Let go, damn it. Princess, don't betray your family. See you later. Shiliel, why in the world did you agree to this? Well, back at Name Hunt Station, I thought he was just a clueless amateur. Why am I stuck with those two? Thinks Andrasi. But proposing a showdown with the family head, he's braver than I thought. And Shiliel smiles. He could be far more useful than I ever imagined. Alright, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to marry him after all. It's interesting, because like I said, we still don't exactly know what Shiliel's motivations are. Don't say nonsense that you don't even mean. Hurry up and go look for your mommy, you couple of babies, says Andrasi. Are you going with us as well? We need your power, father, says Shiliel. But you draw too much attention to yourself in that form. You should do something about that. Oh, is he going to turn into a person? Similar to what Snake Charmer can do? I'm surprised, Kun. About what? You don't usually care about other people like that. I thought you'd suggest we run away, or that we run away among ourselves. Shoot, you got me. I was just about to say that. What? I'm kidding. I knew you wouldn't be able to leave them behind. Besides, I wouldn't mind having a couple of princesses owe me a favor. To be honest, I considered asking you to run away with us on the way here, but judging by your reaction, I should probably forget about that idea. That's right. I'm not sure what's going on in the lobby, but just keep running and don't let anyone catch you. I'll talk to the family leader for you. But I'm supposed to. You're our bargaining chip. I can't let you talk to him yourself. You have a point. Tromare may be the family head, but as long as we have Bomb, we can ask him for a showdown. Although the chances of us winning and making it out of here alive are pretty slim. I'm sure it'll all work out somehow. Let's go. Okay. And we have a call. Slayer candidate. It's Dravi. Ha Jin-sung just called me to say that he found an escape route. Okay, send it along. I will. What the hell? And then, Kun? The escape route is the central gate. After the first 15 minutes, it can only teleport us for 3 minutes at a time? Okay, weird. I'm sorry there isn't a better option, but the insider from the Lopobia family probably went to a great deal of trouble to open that route for you. Damn it, alright. Get over here as soon as you've secured the target. Okay. Oh, and there's one more message from Ha Jin-sung. Until we're in the clear, don't let anyone catch you. Got it. And then back to Yuri versus Tiara. This is an insane chapter. This is one of the biggest and best chapters of Tower of God, I think, in a long, long time. Like, I don't know. This, like, from the stuff we learned at the beginning and how huge and impactful that is for the entire series of Tower of God, this is arguably the biggest chapter in Season 3. Like, you could argue this, you could argue some of the stuff at the end of the nest, probably. Maybe some of the stuff at the end of the walls. But, yeah, this might be the biggest chapter of the season. Yuri versus Tiara. And we have this explosion behind Yuri. And she's still running and avoiding attacks. And we saw last time she was avoiding attacks and rushing in for a counter of her own. And she makes it in close range. Charging blindly. Really? And what if we just cliffhung on the same exact cliffhanger? That would have been hilarious. Is that the best idea you could come up with? That would be like next level trolling if you just end on the same cliffhanger. She lands in front of Tiara. And Tiara's design's so cute. I love her design. And then we have her preparing a punch. But remember, she wrapped her reel around the Green April before. So she's probably got a plan there. Don't you get it? And whoever, I mentioned it last chapter, I mentioned it in the last reaction, whoever is the assistant doing these tiara panels really likes to show off, if you see what I'm saying. Like, yeah, wow. So she goes in for a kick. You can't beat me in close combat either. And they end up trading a punch and a knee strike with one another. But of course, I think that Tiara's probably going to be immune to the attack. Yeah, it looks like it's just passing through her, Ishinsu. I told you, your attacks don't work against me. Why don't you listen? And she gets her grip on the floor with her foot and goes in for another, looks like maybe another knee strike. But now we're seeing the real inventory. That doesn't matter. All I can do is keep attacking. and she's going in for more. And is she going to do the thing like, gosh, I forget what series I saw it in. Gosh, there was, I don't know, maybe they did it in Naruto. Because I feel like, so Obito and Mirio from Hero Academia both have the same sort of ability, and I was thinking it was Mirio. Somebody like made something pass through his eyes so he couldn't see while the attack was passing through his eyes. Or maybe I'm thinking of something that happened with Obito and Naruto. But that might be one of Yuri's plays here, to have an attack go through her eyes so then she can't see. But again, if she's immune to attacks, then I don't exactly know what the end goal of even that would be. That's not going to work, she says as she's reforming from the Shinsu. You fool. And then we have Green April coming in and piercing the book. Right, going for the book. And because Green April's a needle as well, she's able to pull it away with the reel. Or a hook, rather, not a needle. Ignite. And then it expands to tear the book apart. My book? How do you like that? Now you can't use that skill anymore. And then she charges up the high compression blasts again. I tore up the book, but the Shinsu's still there. How can this be? Did you really think my skill would disappear if you got rid of the book? Okay, you know what? I am surprised as well. I thought it would. Wow, you really are something. This is the perfect ending for someone with such a weak imagination. And they start expanding. I see. Damn it. So it wasn't the book. You tricked me, huh? And then, is this the fake Black March that she's pulling out? In that case, I've got nothing to lose. It may be a replica to deceive people, but it's still an ignition weapon with as much power as the original. And that's such a bummer that she doesn't have the real one, just because it feels like the real one has really been wasted with Bomb in the story. And then, ignite. And we see, oh, this is from the attack earlier. We see Holin's Shinheo bursting in the room. Holin playing such a big role in all this. And then we have them both jumping out of the way to avoid it. And we have this huge pink flash. Alright. Tiara floating. What the heck was that? I'm not sure, but he blocked the attack for me. So hot. And Holden stumbles in. It burns. Are you two from the Pobedao family as well? Huh? And then again, he's on his Avenger arc. Answer me. And then he's attacking indiscriminately. I appreciated his help, but he makes too much noise, thinks Yuri. I can't think of anything beautiful to write about him. He's so loud, and his attacks are terribly crude. And they both go in to both attack at Holin. And it looks like this moment of clarity. Piss off. Get lost. Who are you two? Who the hell are you? You beasts. And then we get back to Bomb Kunrak. There's so much going on. Wait, Bomb, we don't know what's going on in there. Let's take a look with the lighthouse first. Oh, okay. What's happening? It's total chaos in there. And I love this, just the aura of like the decaying spirit anima stuff going off around Holin. Yuri, I have to go help. Bomb, wait, not right now. And he runs into the room behind them. Bomb? Huh? That's him. The Irregular. Shit, this isn't good. In the midst of all that chaos, the person everyone's after just walked right into the room. Yeah, that is really bad news. I mean, for Yuri, it's one thing. Yuri's going to want to help. Yuri is like, big thumbs up. She's extremely helpful here. Very strong person. At least top 500 if she hasn't even gone up in rank since then. Like, Yuri, big win that she's involved. Tiara, though, is gonna want to kidnap Bomb to give to Gustang. So that's bad news. And Holin's just no thoughts, head empty, revenge time. Yuri. I mean, it's not exactly fair to say no thoughts, head empty, revenge time. It's more like he's going through it with whatever this curse is, and that's also affecting the way that he's going about things. But yeah, what an insane chapter. That felt like 3 chapters worth of content at least. That was huge. Like I said, maybe the biggest, maybe the best chapter in all of season 3. Like, absolute insanity. Again, I would have to go back and reread, but I just really think, unless like there's one really great one at the end of the walls, and there are some really great ones there, like with sort of everything that Yusracha did to the canine people and then escaping with the W, and like all of our good guys like devastated from that, or the same thing kind of happening with Bomb's group escaping, but like sort of losing the fight for Dewan. Like losing at both sides of the walls. That was a really, really crazy good chapter. And there are a few chapters in there like that. I don't know if there's that much in one chapter, which is the difference here, because there's so much in just this one chapter. But then also at the end of the nest, there were a lot of insane chapters at the end of the nest too. But again, that was mostly split between multiple chapters. But yeah, this was crazy. This was amazing. I do hope you enjoyed my first thoughts and reactions. There's so much to think about. You know, this is probably going to be good for reviews and discussions. There's so much to think about after this one. This is like seriously massive to me. Like the stuff at the beginning, especially with the Revolution stuff, is insane. But yeah, either way, I will end it here for all of you. Thank you so much for sticking through it all. Like if you did like the video, comment down there too. Tell me what you thought of these, or what you thought of this chapter, what you thought of my thoughts and reaction to it. I'd love to talk with you down there about this chapter. I'd love to talk with you on Twitter if you want, or on Miski if you want. I just started a Miski, haven't really used it yet. Or on Discord if you want a link to the server, then just ask and I can give you a link to the server. It's free and open for anyone. We can talk there too. Always open to talk to you all. If you want to help support the channel, you can drop a super thanks down below, or you can become a patron or channel member. You can hit join down below to become a channel member, or you can go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Huge thank you to people who are patrons and channel members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Hawley. Thank you to Magical Girls, FR Nono, Huarihun, and Smeller Dog. Thank you to Cherryton student David Langstaff, and thank you to Slayer candidate SG. Huge thank you to all of them for all of their support. Seriously, it means a ton, and especially some of them have been supporting for a long time now. And thank all of you for watching. Seriously, thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.